tumefika hapa.
Well, it's time to take a look at the Ease of Doing Business Index and how Kenya has performed. And joining us right now is our very own Malika Kazia with more details. Over to you, Malika.
Thank you so much, Noah. Well, Kenya has gone up 5 points to rank at number 56, up from the previous 61st position in the latest World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index. Now, the index considers 190 countries, and Deputy President William Ruto said that the government is continuing to invest in systems that will make Kenya even more attractive as it targets a top 50 position. So let's take a look at that. Of course, we want to move on now to the next, where we can see some of the factors that actually were, taken into consideration when we were being ranked. So if we look at the factors, starting a business was one of the factors that was taken into consideration. Now, Kenya has improved from it taking about 34 days to just 5, according to the government. When it comes to registering property, in 2014, it took about 72 days. We've gone now to 12. Dealing with construction permits, it's said that we take about 159 days. Let's move forward now to see what are the other factors. Getting electricity. We've actually ranked at number 70 on the list for that. Getting credit, we're at number 50, and paying taxes as well. So a lot of it has to do with the digital process, and that is one of the biggest reasons that we've actually seen a hike when it comes to our numbers and our ranking on that particular list. However, of course, a lot of people were present during the launch of this report that was done by Deputy President William Ruto this morning. And one of them was Julius Court, the head of the DFID Kenya. Now, he did say that we need to continue improvement in pending issues such as the rate cap. And we have seen President Uhuru Kenyatta veto the decision and say we should remove the cap. And if the parliament is able to raise a 2/3 majority to now counteract that, we will most likely see the cap being lifted after 3 years in operation. A lot of critics have actually said that that rate cap is responsible for the cash crunch in the private sector. We also saw EAC and Regional Development CS Adan Mohammed say there are still challenges we need to address. Some of them are the export processes. We need to look at construction permits as well as registering property at the Lands Ministry and the lag in these processes that it takes, which again brings down our points when it comes to the ease of doing business. And some of the other factors, if we're looking at other factors that are being considered, we've got cross-border trading, resolving insolvency, level of enforcing contracts, as well as internet speeds, and basically how long would it take for us to actually register a car. Even these things are being taken into consideration on this list. But as Deputy President did say this morning as well, we need to keep on reforming, and that is pivotal for our business environment as well as the regulation of it. So what he called for was actually more collaboration between the government, development sector, as well as development partners, that is, and the private sector. So that is just a breakdown on the Ease of Business Index report that was released, and where Kenya stands today and perhaps where we are aiming to go, some of the things that we need to focus on as well. And with that, I'll hand it back to Noah. But before I do that, we also want to take a look at what some Kenyan business owners had to say, because recently KTN Business did take to the streets, and from Kenyatta Market, we had a lot of traders talking about doing business right now in this economy. Let's take a look.
I think first is the issue of the government fighting corruption. So there's been tension when the corruption issue came up. So we apparently don't know if that is affecting our businesses, but I think we need opportunities on how to do business. The government should do something. Like here in Kenyatta Market, we used to have business, but unfortunately it's slowly going down. The taxes have been hiked. Nowadays there's the parking charges and the small levies that they charge for the small businesses. So if I'm paying taxes, the small levies, this county government is also charging, for example, the parking. You're just coming here maybe to brush your shoe or pick a shoe for your kid or yourself, and then you have to pay the parking fee. Then sometimes it discourages the clients who want to walk in here.
Wakiweza kutupatia hizo malone na watupatie conducive environment ya kufanya biashara, wanaweza tu boost hata maisha yetu, tupige hiyo step nyingine mbele.
Big businesses depend on small businesses. They depend on SMEs.
right? SMEs, I always say charity begins at home. If the government does not support SMEs, it's like saying you do not support your child. Your child is your future. So I think the government should take SMEs seriously.
All right, those are some details surrounding the ease of doing business in Kenya and what traders on the ground actually have to say. With that, I'll hand over back to Noah Kipkemboi, of course, where he's going to be having a conversation around the same. Back to